Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let's get the mic set up tonight. Hello, Prince. Yo. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight, I'm talking about a very, very important topic. Very relevant for our times, very relevant for everything that's going on in the world, and very relevant for you. As you come across this live, kindly share this live, because I'm going to be talking about the dash. I'm sure you're wondering what the dash is. What does your dash look like? What does your dash look like? This night's live is going to be all about, well, you'll find out once we get started. Just waiting for more people to join in. Welcome, 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 everybody. So what does your dash look like? We're talking about your dash tonight. First of all, what is the dash? If this is your first time on my live, welcome. My name is Dr. Oyinkansola Chinadu, Dr. OJ the Meg. I'm so excited. If you're joining me from YouTube, do the needful, drop a subscribe button, just subscribe, because we have amazing, insightful content on here that we believe truly brings transformational change in the lives of those who are part of our community. Yes, we do a lot of work in the community. We have a lot of entertaining content as well. So drop a subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and give a thumbs up to this video. Those three things very necessary. Drop a like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and thumbs up to this video. All right, so what we're talking about tonight is, what does your dash look like? You know, when we talk about the dash, what is the dash? What do I mean by dash? The dash is that middle line. You know, when they say a person's dash, when somebody is born, the moment between your date of birth and your death day. So to a man, as the Bible says, it's appointed unto man to live and die once. And after that is judgment. And I feel like it's necessary for us to understand this, because when we look at the state of affairs of our economy, of the world, and in many cases, some parts of the world where some people are acting like they don't even believe that that end is going to come, you know, the dash in between, what they're doing from the day they're born to the day they die. You know, that is very important for us to begin to think of those things. I was having the same conversation with my children, as young as they are. I said, I want you to begin to become mindful of your dash. Make it make sense, starting now. When I was at your age, I did not have a lot of these types of conversations. I had the conversations where when we go to church, the pastor is scaring you to death. Like, if you don't give your life to Christ, you're going to burn in hell. All these things, you know, that puts a lot of fear and apprehension in your heart. Tonight's message is very different. It's not about fear. It's not about apprehension. It's about a reality check that we must all be well aware of. In fact, whether you are aware of it or not, it is happening. It is going on. The dash in your life, even right in this very moment, as I'm spending my time on this live, sharing my thoughts and views, trying to inform and educate and entertain in some way, the dash is happening. It's happening for every one of us. But you know, the difference between everyone living, breathing on earth is we all get to choose what we invest our dash in. Our dash is given to us freely, if I do say so myself. God gives us that dash. He gives us a moment in time. Some people live longer than others. Some people don't live long at all. Children die, babies die, teenagers die, young adults die, middle-aged people die, older people die. Death happens to all of us. You know, one thing that is certain about life, if nothing else is certain, one thing that is certain about life is we're not going to get out of this alive. None of us will. We're not getting out of this alive. So I know some people like to think, oh, talking about death is morbid, but talking about death is really understanding how to live your life. It actually brings us back on a reality check to help us to reevaluate and assess how we're living the life that we have right now. Are you living your life by design, or are you living your life by default? That's a question I'd like for you to answer for yourself by yourself. You don't have to respond to me. You don't have to tell it to me or anyone else. But you need to be able to ask yourself this question. Am I living my life by design, or am I living my life by default? One of the things that I chose to do was to come on live every Wednesday to offer some type of education, to offer some type of insightful information that allows me to contribute to my community. You know, when we talk about building community wealth, it's not always about talking about money making. It's about even building the capacity of us as humans. What are you doing with your dash? What does your dash mean to you, or what does it mean to the people around you? Is your dash making sense to you right now? Do you even have an idea? Do you even have an awareness of what your dash is supposed to be performing in the world that you're in? A lot of people are going through the motions. They are living by default. They are not intentional about anything. They don't make any plans whatsoever to do or become anything. They don't have the awareness to think that their lives could actually count for more than just being about themselves. Yes, your life can actually count for more than just being about you. It can count for more than you being the most successful licensed life agent. It can count for more than you just being the most successful version of whatever enterprise you have chosen to engage in the marketplace. It can count for so much more than just being about you being profitable in life. That is what really determines the quality of one person's dash to the quality of another person's dash. You know, they say it's not how long, it's how well. It doesn't matter how long a person lives. You know, if a person lives for 100 years and they cannot really point or even give account of some significant impact and purpose that their lives have fulfilled, then they have just lived in quantity terms. They've just lived for an amount of time. Chronological years have gone by. But there's also a different definition of time, that we talk about God's timing, Kairos time. God is very, very particular about time. He's very intentional about the dash. He takes it to heart. He's very mindful of it. And that's why he says clearly in his word that it is appointed unto man but once to die. And after that is judgment, because he will ask. He's waiting to ask you and I, what did you do with the dash? From the day that I gave you your breath, from the first moment you took your breath and you got out of those unaccountable years. You know, everybody has years where we are not accountable. That is years when our mommies, our daddies, our parents are nurturing us. They're taking care of us. We really don't know right from wrong. We don't know if you're walking into a flame of burning fire. We don't know if anything is going to happen. We're just curious about life. We're so oblivious about the realities of life. And then we gradually move through those accountable years. And then once we get into the years of accountability, that is when a child knows, that is when a child begins to know right from wrong, left from right. A child knows that if they're caught doing something, they're going to tell a lie, because our default setting is sin, right? To lie, to cheat, to kill, to steal, to destroy. That's our default human setting. But then we get to the point of accountability where we begin to know some truth. And that is the truth that there is a way. You know, they say there are many ways to skin a cat. There are many ways. People say, oh, there are many ways to God. There are many ways to get to God. There are many, all of us are serving the same God. I beg to differ. There are many ways. There's the Scientologists, there's the Hinduism, there's the Muslims, there's all kinds of ways. But there is only one way, the truth, and the way to life everlasting. That is through Jesus Christ. That's the way, the truth, and the life. So let me just drop that in here so that we're very clear and certain on what side I am speaking from. I'm speaking from that side of saying there is the way. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and the only way to eternity. I mean, there's different kinds of eternity anyway. The eternity that I want to spend is eternity with Christ. That is the eternity that I know. So now while I'm here, he has asked me to do certain things. He has given me gifts. He says, Oyinkansola, this is what I have put in your hands. And this is what your dash needs to be about. You need to occupy till I come for you. That is till your life ends, or till I come and return, like he said he would. I don't know if Jesus is going to return while I'm alive. That would be so amazing though. And I'm hoping that I will be ready. And I'm really working hard to get not just myself ready, but everyone in my circle of influence. So the dash of your life is very meaningful. I was looking at something today that I saw on social media, and it's going very viral. It's talking about all Igbos must leave, or hashtag Igbos must go. Some tribal discrimination going on in Nigeria, in the southern parts of Nigeria. I know that in Nigeria there's a lot of heaviness. There's a lot of high temperature situations going on. The pressure is getting worse, as my people will say. But I honestly want to say there is no excuse for us to begin to discriminate from one tribe against another. Anyone that is instigating one tribe against the other is of the devil. Division is not of God. We are all children of God. We speak different languages. We look different. We sound different. We have different accents and all of these things. But all in all, we are all children of God. So if you're going to spend your dash instigating one tribe against another and saying that one tribe deserves this and the other does not, that is not of God, and it is absolutely wrong. There is already enough turmoil in the land, in Nigeria. Why do we need to add so much more to it? Why do we need to aggravate the situation beyond what is already happening? Everyone is suffering from the pressure of the economy, whether you are Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Middle Belt, wherever you are from. Everybody in that country, as a human being, as a citizen of that nation, is suffering. Why not us band together, seek the face of God, repent from our ways, and try to hold our leaders accountable and ask them to do the right thing for all of us, not for one tribe, not for one language, but for every citizen of that nation. That is my stand. And I believe that is where Jesus will stand. Because when you look in the Bible, Jesus did not come to fight for the Jews or the Gentiles. He came for those who would accept him. And even within his own people where he was rejected, he left them alone and he went to save the people who would receive his goodwill message. He came for anyone who needed help. You know, the hospital is a place where people go to get help. So if you're healthy and strong, you don't need to go to the hospital. So in Nigeria right now, I'm just going to say that we need to find a common ground. I know that I'm based in diaspora, and some people say, well, Shebi, you are not there. Shebi, you are in the abroad and you have jackpot. Well, unfortunately, I did not jackpot to the US. I just moved here. But regardless of the situation, I am where I am and you're where you are. But at least I can speak to the matter on ground to say all people in Nigeria deserve to have the liberty and justice and the fairness that the system should offer everyone as a human being. Point blank, period. That's it. So that's hashtag. I just wanted to mention that in here, because when we have platforms and we cannot speak to the heart of matters that affects humanity, that actually helps to bring a positive resolution, then what's the point of our platform? Again, what does your dash look like? My dash looks like speaking on issues, and even when I speak on issues that I have found myself to goof off or be a bit ignorant about, I'm able to go back and correct myself and apologize for any errors that have been made. Because one thing I know is, as part of my dash and my accountability to the gift giver, is the fact that I will give account of people who were led astray. If I'm giving false doctrine, if I'm giving misinformation, misdirection, if I'm coming here instigating one side against the next, speaking falsehood, I will give account of that to him. So my dash, every single activity that I perform in my dash, from my birthday, February 6th, XX years, you go figure that out, to the day that I leave this earth, that dash, I am going to give full account for, minus the years of lack of accountability. Those are the years when I didn't even know my left from my right. And it's just a few years, guys, because I know that in the world we live today, any child from like 4 years and above, they really know their right from their wrong. That's when they'll say, me. No, mommy, no, that they know. When a child starts to say no, yes, me, hey, Dr. Tosin, welcome to my life, they know their right from their wrong. So that is where we have to understand that our dash matters a lot, not just to us, not just to the world that we're called to serve, but it matters because we are going to give full account of that. We are going to give full account of it. So what does your dash look like? Do you ever stop to look at your dash and how you're using it? Do you ever stop to ask yourself the questions, am I utilizing my gifts to the best of my ability? Not my ability, to the best of the assignment for which that gift was given? Am I using my platform? Hey, Sammy, how are you? Am I using the things that God has given me for the purpose and intent for which he sent me to this earth to use it? What does your dash look like? Are you living life by default, or are you living life by design? Are you curating a life that you can be proud of when you look back in your older years, when you're not so active, not so vibrant, able to get everywhere? Are you able to look back on the dash and say, I'm so proud that I did that for my family. I'm so proud that I did that for my community. I'm so proud that I spent my time using my platform, using my voice, speaking up for things that really matter to humanity. I didn't spend time worrying about just my hair, just my makeup, just my face, just me, my, gimme, my name is Jimmy. What does your dash look like? Is it making sense? Are you living life by design? One of the things that I took upon myself as a crusade about 2.5 years now, it's a financial crusade to educate my community on financial wellness. Because guess what? From that time that I started, the economy has actually gone on a decline. But the reality of the matter is, in that same space of time, I have seen the lives of some of the clients that I've been able to help transform drastically. The story of a lady that was a client of mine that suddenly got diagnosed with cancer. She had called to cancel her policy, one of the tools that I'm able to help set up. And she was like, I don't think I can afford it, blah, 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 blah. I said, hold on, let's see what we can do. Guys, listen, look at the hand of God. 2 days later, I was going to call her back to say, well, if you still want to cancel, that's fine, or we can put your policy on hold. I was going to give her the options because she was very irate. And as a human being, if I had forgotten my purpose in that space, saying that God sent me there to help people, and I got very emotional and angry, and I forgot my emotional intelligence, expertise, and all that, and I just let her go off on me, and then me too, I went off on her. You know what would have happened? She would have canceled a $500,000 policy that came in cash value for her, or less than a month later. Because 2 days after that conversation, she got diagnosed with cancer. This was a healthy woman. She got diagnosed with cancer. She just went in for her annual physical. She was not expecting that kind of result, but she got diagnosed with cancer. And she came back to me a few days and said, oh, doctor, I need to talk to you about something. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? Is everything okay? You know, her tone had changed, by the way. She was nicer. She was calm. She was very, you know, when you get that news that rocks your world, that makes it seem like that dash is about to come to an end. She got one of those news. Yeah. And everybody gets to that point in their dash where it seems like everything is going to come to an end. And then she told me the situation. I said, no, that's fine. That's okay. We got you. You know, while you're fighting this and trying to get over it, guess what I can do? I can accelerate your policy. I can get you $300,000 in cash. That is not your money, which we delivered to her in cash. She got a check in the mail, $300,000. And she was able to use it to do a whole lot. And she is fighting this cancer and she is on her way to remission. But guess what? If I had not taken my dash seriously to take on this crusade, to work with this client, to follow up with her, to set up her tools, to be patient with her, to ensure that I served her with the best intention to get her what she needed, even against her own judgment, like she wanted to, like, if I had not done my part, my dash would not have made an impact in her life, which today she's all about the crusade as well. She's on board. Nobody needs to tell her to crusade, to educate her community on financial wellness, on doing certain things that would ensure that you have the leverage you need when you need it. And if you don't need it, you have the leverage to transfer generational wealth to your children. So if you did not get wealth transferred to you, wealth should still be able to come from you to the next generation. What does your dash look like? Are you just here spending this dash on yourself, acquiring everything and just enriching your life and making yourself feel good? Or are you thinking of the next generation? Are you thinking of our children who are being molested? Are you thinking of our children who are being trafficked? Are you thinking of our generation XYZ who are being misinformed about life? Are you stepping in to help educate them? Are you using your dash to impact lives that you come in contact with? Are you creating transformational change with the platform that God has given you? Or are you using it for conflict? Are you using it for controversy? Are you using it just to service yourself? What does your dash look like, guys? Let's talk about it. This dash is not infinite. It's not indefinite. There is a start and a stop date. And for most of us, when the end comes, it's a hard stop. And for most people, when the end comes, they don't even expect it. They are not expecting it. We hear of people every day, apart from those who are so depressed and oppressed by the enemy that they choose to end their lives just without any cause. And I'm not going to say it's without any cause. The dash stands for something. Yes, Dr. T. The dash stands for the space of time between the day you are born and the day you die. That is the dash. You know, when they put up obituaries or when you look at tombstones, you see a life well lived, a life gloriously lived in honor of our, in loving memory of our father and our mother and our brother and our sister, born XYZ and died in 2024. Onyeka Owenu just passed on and died. She wasn't expecting to die. She's a legend. When you look at Onyeka Owenu's dash, we can look at so many times where her music brought joy, laughter to the lives of people, where she truly touched the heart of people all over the world with her voice. Her gift was in service to humanity. She lived her dash. But as far as whatever the rest of it is, I don't know. She's still going to have to answer to her maker. Was she able to make it to heaven? I don't know. But from human accounts, I can give account and say, Onyeka Owenu's dash, it impacted my life. Some of her songs I grew up on. They were songs that really made a lot of sense and they really touched the heart of your humanity. And she died actually living her dash. And she wasn't expecting for it to end when it did, because she slumped on during a performance. So she actually, she did it till the very end. She wore her life till the wheels got off. Like it says, like you wear this, she drove her life till the wheels fell off. She emptied herself on the stage of life. And when it was time, it was time. Nobody could control that. So here is what I'm saying about your dash. What does it look like? Are you living with intention? Are you living life by design? Or are you just taking it in stride and saying, oh, whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future is not for us to see. Que sera, sera. I learned that song. It was one of the nursery rhymes, right? And I grew up honestly knowing that whatever will be, will not be. Success is not accidental. Impact, purposeful living is not accidental. My ability to live a life of purity and holiness as unto my God is not accidental. It is intentional. My ability to want to stay true to the faith that I've confessed to with Jesus Christ is not accidental. My ability to stay true to my calling as Dr. OJ, either as an MC, as a licensed life agent, financial wellness educator, as a coach, as a trainer, as a speaker, it's not accidental. It is very intentional. Nothing just happens until we make it happen. And if you're living life not mindful of your dash, watching this video, wake up. Watching this video, wake up and start thinking of your dash, because you don't know how long the dash is. Some people have a dash like this. Some people have a dash like this. Some people, their dash is like, some people, they leave their dash like wide arms. Like my grandmother, she died at 101. Wow, she lived a long dash. That woman lived a long dash. And we are so proud of the life that she lived, because she gave us a very good heritage. She gave us a godly heritage. She established so many things for our spirituality in my family. Remembering growing up, she established us waking up at 5 a.m. to do morning devotion as a family. I still do that with my children, guys. She established so many things that are faith-based for us to read the Psalms. She established memorizing different Psalms, Psalm 20, Psalm 91, Psalm this. She would ensure all of her children and her grandchildren, we would memorize a lot of Psalms that now today I just say it and I'm wondering, who they that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And guess what, guys? She ensured that we learned it in Yoruba. So when people will wonder how I'm able to switch from English to Yoruba, speak fluent English, but also speak my Yoruba language clearly, because my grandmother, she insisted, because for all the private schools that our parents were sending us to, Grandma Emma saw Yoruba, she would make sure, because she wouldn't even call you by your name. She would call you by your Oriki. Aduke mi. She will call my dad Ishola. My mom, she calls us by our Oriki. She doesn't even call us by our traditional names. She will go really, really traditional. So she left a strong heritage, a strong background for us. So my grandmother's dash is still reverberating through the family, even though she's been gone for 2 years now. She lived 101 years, but her dash was so impactful in my life, in the lives of my siblings. And then where even us as siblings, we're passing on some of those traditions, some of those values, some of those things to our children. What does your dash look like? Can your children look back on your dash and be like, I remember that my mom and dad invested this in me. Can your society, your community, can your friends really look at you as someone whose dash is making an impact in their lives? Or are you that one friend who is always controversial? Are you that one friend who's always bringing trouble everywhere you go? Or are you that person who comes with value, loaded, ready to help whenever you're called on? Are you that person who is ready, willing, and able to serve whenever you're called on? Or is it about who gonna pay me for this? What can I get out of this? What's in this for me? Is it about me, y'all? Gimme, my name is Jimmy, y'all. Are you that one person? Is that what your dash looks like? When people think of your name, when it comes up in their memory, just subconsciously, you pop up on their timeline. Do they see you and say, this woman is a blessing. This man is a blessing. Oh, wow, I really admire what she's doing. Oh, what does your dash look like? As I round up this live tonight, I want you guys to really be retrospective. This is a very serious time that we're in. A lot of uprising all over the world. Everybody's trying to fight for their rights. And even in the United States, we're getting ready for the most tumultuous election year ever. This is nothing compared to Hillary's time. This is nothing compared to Barack Obama's time. This is about to be a full-on, I don't know, but you know, what's going to be your role in this election? Are you going to take sides based on what you see, based on what you think you resonate with, based on the fact that the candidate is female? So I'm female, I'm going to vote for her. It doesn't matter if they build their belief systems are in alignment with what God says. You know, I'm not saying anything either way. I'm just saying that we need to become intentional about every single thing and stop taking life as face value. Life is spiritual. And our dash is spiritual. Our dash is important. When they write your obituary, when they put your tombstone up and they put your name in loving memory of XYZ, a life well lived, can your dash truly tell God that you live the life that He put you here to live? Because at the end of the day, guys, when it comes down to it, that is the person that we're going to answer to. We are all going to answer to the judge of all judges. I don't care what anybody says. I tell you this for a fact. And the truth of the matter is, there is one way to eternity, the good one. There's another type of eternity. You don't want to explore that option. No, we don't want that option. You want the good option. The one that guarantees that you're living in bliss for the rest of eternity. The way is Jesus Christ. Point blank, period. So what does your dash say? How does your dash relate to His agenda for you? That's just my question for y'all tonight. I hope your dash looks like God has it mapped out. I hope it's looking good in the record books of heaven, that your dash is doing exactly what it was intended to do. That's my message for you guys tonight. I hope it makes sense. I hope you absolutely do love it. And I will see you again on another live as we explore other mindfulness topics that affects our families, our relationships, building community wealth in every way we possibly can. Temiolapo, thank you so much for joining. Dr. Tosin, thanks for your engagement. Gbadebo Oluwatosi, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you. For those of you on YouTube, Facebook, thank you so much for coming through. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube though, make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on. Definitely give a thumbs up to this video. Drop your comments below about your dash. What are your thoughts? Are you living by default or are you living by design? And if you're living by default, I think it's a good time for you to start to become intentional to live a life by design, God's design for you, and do the needful, right? So that the world will truly remember that you came through. And it's not just about the world. So that you can get this statement when you pass on to the other side. Welcome home. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have served well. It's time for you to come into the bosom of your master and rest. Woo! I can't wait to hear that. And I pray that we all get to hear that when all is said and done. All right, as always, my name is Dr. OJ, the Meg, the gifted coach. For any other things that I get to do, there's so much value on my page. Give me a follow on all social media platforms, Dr. OJ Speaks, across all platforms. Reach out to us if you would like to hire me as a speaker, as an MC event host, or if you would like to engage in one of my courses. I do a mindfulness coaching that I help you discover your gift and journey into purpose, amongst other types of resources. Come through and just be part of my world, be part of my community. I cannot wait to see you guys and love on you. As always, remember, make your dash count, guys. Clock is ticking. Nobody's promised tomorrow. But if you get to wake up tomorrow morning, if you get the next 24 hours deposited in your account, guys, make it count. Make that dash count. Put some mileage on that dash so that heaven can be proud of you as well. Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye, guys. Hey, Yoruba. Thanks for joining my live. Thank you, guys. Bye.